13 WMAZ Morning starts now.
Sun is coming up in Perry this morning on what's going to be a hot day across central Georgia. We'll take a look at future view and what to expect today coming up.
Plus, a couple recounts their experience after they saw a woman ram into 3 Byron police cars. We share what they saw.
Macon in the city of Macon front signifying another 50 years of partnership. We explain.
And as teachers prepare for another year, we check in with one of those whose career path took a very different route to the classroom, how she and fellow teachers are getting ready for a new group of students.
Well, good morning. Happy Tuesday. A beautiful sunrise happening right now down in Perry at the fairgrounds. The time is 6:30 on this July 26th. I'm Caitlin Heck.
And I'm Wanye Reese. This Tuesday morning, Central Georgia. Miss Heck, it's looking good on you.
It is looking good on you too, Wanye. Alex, we're not forgetting about you. It's looking good on you too. Just not feeling so great out there.
Oh, I know the humidity is going to be noticeable today. It is noticeable this morning. Going to be noticeable today across central Georgia down in the Georgia National Fairgrounds, where I know they've got a lot of events going on. 78 is what we're waking up to in Gordon, 79 in Milledgeville, 73 in Macon, 72 in Warner Robins. So yes, a relatively humid start, or a warm start and a humid start to the day today. 74 in Gordon, 70 in Dublin, 69 in Cordele. Those are all the dew point values. So all that to say that there is a lot of humidity out there. Now, we're quiet here in central Georgia, but where we're not quiet this morning, up into portions of Missouri, Illinois. I want to take you down here into St. Louis. Check this out. Over the past 12 hours, parts of Missouri has seen close to a foot of rain, including in St. Louis itself. And that means a flash flood emergency is going on up there. So something to keep an eye on as we head through the day today. 94 going to be our high temperature here in central Georgia. It's going to be very humid. 2 or 3 storms will be possible. And those heat index values upwards of triple digits. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll take a look at the specific heat index values and the small afternoon rain chances. The reason for that, all of that just a few minutes away.
You see a baby in the back seat and you see someone acting like they don't really value their life or the life of their child.
This morning, we're here from a couple who called 911 when a Warner Robins woman rammed into 3 Byron police cars with a child in her back seat.
No one got hurt as the woman hit a Byron police officer and 2 bystanders, but the couple who saw it says it was all pretty shocking.
Just witnessed this girl try to hit 3 vehicles head on, including me and her.
Brent and Tiffany Cox say they wanted to get involved and help because they saw there was a young child in the backseat of the car. The couple called 911 to let them know an SUV was driving recklessly on Highway 42. When the woman got to the intersection of Highways 42 and 49, witnesses blocked the vehicle in. Officers placed stop sticks under her tires to deflate the tires if she tried to drive off. Byron police officer Captain Brian Hunter says the bystanders really helped in this situation.
They saw her driving. They knew she was driving erratic and we're concerned for her safety along with everybody else's. The good people that stopped to help, we appreciate them very much. We couldn't have done it without them.
Hunter says the Peach County Sheriff's Office is handling the investigation and the criminal charges against Sierra Hibbert. This morning, the Bleckley County Sheriff's Office says 3 people are in custody after a shooting last week that left 1 toddler dead and another hurt. 23-year-old Damon Lemon of Cochran is charged with felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and other charges. 29-year-old Jacquees Finley is charged with party to the crime of murder and aggravated assault. And 20-year-old Camus Pasby is also charged with party to the crime of murder and aggravated assault. The shooting happened overnight on July 17th at Deer Run Apartments in Cochran. 2-year-old Yasir Satterite died after getting shot in the head while laying in bed. His 4-year-old brother was also shot and had to go to the hospital, but he should be okay.
It's been tireless. We have really pushed through. It's been nonstop since the original call happened. And we would not be where we are without the people who have helped us, Cochran Police Department, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Region 12.
Major Daniel Cape says they believe that last week's shooting was in retaliation to a different shooting. He says they believe that apartment was targeted. This morning, Fort Valley police have a suspect in a different shooting from last week that also left 1 toddler dead and another hurt. I want you to take a look at this photo from the police department. They are looking for Christopher Miller. He's wanted on several charges, including murder and aggravated assault. Last Wednesday night, someone fired shots into a first-floor unit at Lakeview Apartments. 1-year-old Marcus Ball Jr. died after getting shot while in bed, and his 2-year-old sister was hurt and taken to the hospital. So far, there is no word on any other suspects.
Well, this morning, 2 teenage sisters are recovering after a shooting on Bloomfield Road in Macon. The Bibb Sheriff's Office says it happened in the 5000 block around 10 last night. According to the Sheriff's Office, the call came in around 10 p.m. about a 15-year-old girl shot in the arm and a bullet grazed her head. Then a second call came in about a 19-year-old woman who showed up at a fire station shot in the stomach. Deputies say the 2 shootings happened at the same place. They say someone shot the sisters during a fight with other people. The sisters were listed in stable condition at a hospital, but if you have any information, you can call Macon Regional Crime Stoppers. That phone number is 1-877-68-CRIME. Again, 1-877-68-CRIME. A U.S. Marshal now out of the hospital after getting shot while attempting to arrest a Pike County murder suspect Sunday. We have new information for you this morning about his recovery and the case. Investigators say the Marshal, William Helton, worked as an investigator with the Coweta County Sheriff's Office for 22 years. He is expected to make a full recovery. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says on Sunday the U.S. Marshals and deputies went to serve a murder arrest warrant in Fayette County. They responded to a home at the Shiloh Mobile Home Ranch in Peachtree City to arrest 19-year-old Antonio Morgado Jr. When officers went in the home, Morgado Jr. shot and hit Helton. Other law enforcement officers returned fire. In other news from across the state, a Fulton County special grand jury heard testimony as the district attorney investigates possible criminal interference in the 2020 presidential election. Yesterday, Governor Brian Kemp was subpoenaed to give testimony as the DA examines whether former President Donald Trump and his allies illegally tried to interfere with Georgia's election. The subpoena shows the governor was allowed to give a recorded statement. It also called for him to turn over any evidence, including correspondence or audio recordings, that would help understand what the former president said in the days following the November election. Other people subpoenaed in the case include GOP Representative Jody Hice. A judge denied Hice's request to have that subpoena thrown out, which means he must appear. The judge did say that Hice has the right to raise objections to individual questions. Well, some good news for drivers. When you go to fill up for the week, you'll pay about 15 cents less per gallon than you did last week. That is according to AAA. Drivers in the Peach State are now paying around $3.89 for a regular gallon of gas, which is more than 50 cents less than this time last month. All right, now with students getting ready to go back to school, school supplies can become really costly for parents. And Georgia is one of the states without a tax break.
That's a lot of money in savings for parents. So I don't understand why they decided to do away with it.
The tax break that lasted more than a decade in Georgia was a delight for taxpayers, but a burden to the state. It all ended back in 2016. A 2011 Georgia State University study found that the holiday cost the state somewhere between $36 and $50 million in lost tax revenue. Other states continue to provide a back-to-school tax break, but in Georgia, the holiday has become just a nice memory. State leaders say they have worked to provide tax relief across the board for Georgians, not just during back-to-school shopping.
Those extra pennies you pay in sales tax at the checkout add up to millions of dollars, as you just heard. And this morning, we'll get a better sense of where some of that money is going. The city of Milledgeville and the Baldwin Board of Commissioners started working toward how to split the money for the next decade. Commission Chairman Henry Craig says they're splitting $80 million over 10 years, or $8 million a year. 61% is going to go to the county and 39% is going to go to the city. Craig says the county is legally responsible for paying for public safety. He says over half will go to first responders and government buildings. Mayor Mary Parham Copeland says the city wants the public's input on what should happen with their share of the money.
We need to do something in recreation on our side to help with our students, keep them encouraged and engaged in the right activities. Of course, we have public safety. Of course, we have some times with our water and sewer, so we have to make sure we try to, because that serves the community.
Both Craig and Parham Copeland says they're looking forward to working together to bring together bigger joint projects for both the city and the county. It's now 6:39 a.m. 50 years ago, Macon and the city of Macon signed an agreement to become sister cities. Earlier this month, the Macon Bibb leaders made the trip across the pond to celebrate the milestone. The highlight of the trip was signing the twinning agreement, signifying another 50 years of partnership. Dr. Henry Ficklin and Cherie Stevens says they've learned a lot from their counterparts across the Atlantic. Ficklin heads community affairs, and Stevens is over small business. They say Macon France exemplifies lots of things that Macon Bibb is working towards. They spoke about the city's stance on crime, the rich downtown area lined with mom and pop shops, and the city's walkability. They also came back with an idea on how to improve pedestrian safety.
When a citizen is walking, because there's a lot of walking and biking in Macon front, cars would always stop a distance away and give the right of way to the person who is the pedestrian.
Yeah, that's right. They're dealing with a lot of heat out in Europe as the past few weeks, and that's going to continue on into this week. And the strange thing is that it's kind of the heat that we see here in central Georgia and what we're used to, but they're not used to it over there. So to them, this is sweltering stuff. Take a live look across downtown Macon this morning. The sunrise officially just a few minutes away here as we get this Tuesday started. 73 is the current number that we're waking up to with a dry radar picture and pretty much nice temperatures, relatively speaking, right? It is still the middle of summer. 73 in Macon, 72 in Warner Robins, 71 is what we're waking up to in Butler. And across the southeast, relatively quiet. You've got to go up into the Ohio River Valley to find any activity this morning. Now, we're also not looking at any heat advisories. Those are out to the west, parts of Mississippi, Tennessee, on into Kentucky. In fact, Tulsa, Oklahoma, an excessive heat warning today for feels like temperatures potentially up to, get this, 112 degrees before all is said and done. Luckily, we're just looking at right around the triple-digit mark here in central Georgia today. So here we go with Future View today. Developing a few showers and storms this afternoon, mainly to the north and to the west today. And then that's going to do it for this Tuesday on into Wednesday. Drier overall than today, but an upper level area of high pressures moving through. That's going to keep our temperatures warm as we head into the next few days. Check this out. 94 today, 95 tomorrow, 96 for Thursday. And then as we get into the weekend, that's when we begin to get back closer to 95. It's all relative, right? This is going to be on top of what has been a relatively cool month, about 14 below average days. Our average high for today is 94. Earlier this month, it was about 93. So those 80s and low 90s, technically below average. Today, I'm forecasting average high of 94, so right where we should be. 92 in Eatonton, 96 potentially in Milledgeville, 96 in Dublin, and 93 in Unadilla. 2 or 3 storms will be possible, still on the humid side today. And then as we head into the afternoon hours, those feels like temperatures potentially upwards of that triple-digit mark. This is 99 here in Macon. Good news is once we get into the evening tonight, beginning to cool off, feeling like the 80s right around 11 p.m., eventually to an overnight low of about 74 degrees. Still on the humid side thanks to that Gulf moisture, and we're going to be on the humid side even on Thursday and Friday with lower rain chances, about a 10% chance of rain both days. That's back up to 20% for Saturday and Sunday with those highs hovering in the middle 90s. Carrying us right into the beginning of the school year for many, August 1st, Monday.